Hey everyone, this is David Bauders, CEO of Hounds. I'm here today with Nick Wright. Nick is the product marketing manager for Siemens. Welcome, Nick.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for the time.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the challenge of this demographic shift that's going on with the next generation of electricians. How do we start to build awareness, preference, and revenue with the next generation?
I think it's about meeting them where they are, right? Relevancy is important, engagement's important. Working with Hounds has been incredible. The app and the amount of knowledge that's there and the community, the online community we're looking for, you guys really offer it and the connection's there.
Well, thank you. One of the things that we've heard is that estimates say that over and over again, there's about half of electricians will retire in the next 5 to 10 years. The biggest thing that people don't always understand is what's different about the next generation, the Gen Zers.
Yep.
The digital natives who are coming into the workforce, who are going to be the consumers of electrical products. Talk a little bit about how Siemens sees this next generation.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be honest with you, it's about that we know they're digital natives, right? They're growing up with iPads in hand, online research and things that they can do autonomously is really important to them. We want to meet them where if they want to find that knowledge, they can do it on their own. Therefore, it's something easy, whether it's online, via the Hounds app, online communities. We know that's really important for this generation. And I think XR developments and engaging technology is going to be really important to stay connected to this generation.
We know that there's a lot of innovation going on in the electrical industry, new products being introduced all the time, replacing old gen products with next gen products. Talk a little bit about the importance of connecting with the folks on the street in terms of building demand for next-gen product.
I think it's about quality and awareness, right? Therefore, if the product itself is easy to get to and it's accessible and it's quality that will last for a long time, the name Siemens and it's trusted. I think that's something that we want to have in front of the groups. They understand that our product can have longevity and it's also easy to work with.
We know for a lot of manufacturers, they invest hundreds of thousands, millions, tens of millions of dollars building a new product, and then they're sort of left hoping that people will buy it. I think and we know that hope is not a strategy when it comes to revenue. Can you talk a little bit about the types of focused campaigns that are working well for Siemens in social marketplaces like Hounds?
Sure, yeah, I think it's really about knowing the audience, spending the time, the market research, understanding the value and the why that they would want to purchase a product. A lot of the products that we're working with are essential to our everyday lives, right? Things that they don't even see that are behind the walls, things that keep people safe, the electrical aspects of it, just making sure that our products are in front of people.
I think a lot of people don't realize there's this whole journey. First, people have to be aware of what you're doing.
Yep.
They have to trust your brand. They have to be hearing not from the brand itself as much as from their peers that this is a good brand to work with. That's what really builds preference beyond just being aware. You talk about how UGC, user-generated content, is helping to socialize innovation for Siemens.
Sure, yeah, I think it's one of those things that when we market, we look at it as not only is the story correct and the product is well displayed, but we wanted to make it easy that other people can talk about it, right? That therefore they want to use it, they want to tell their friends about it. It's a part of Hounds community, right? We want to see user-generated content of people interacting with it, filming, whether it's pictures or video of installations, and showing how easy it is to work with Siemens products inside the community.
And can you talk a little bit about how you can get more awareness of brand sentiment? What people are saying about brands through a presence on the Hounds app?
It's about looking inside the app and looking at the community and the conversations going on and helping to respond. I think looking at Siemens and having access to that online community of Hounds users, the 400,000 or so that are there, responding to them, I think is important. A lot of times brands do not have that reach to their end users. And that's very important. And I've seen good impact to us that when we respond, there's almost the online community saying, thank you, they're listening. And that's from a brand perspective.
So one of the things we like to do with manufacturers like Siemens is to be able to help them learn more about their customers, learn more about their preferences. Talk about how polling has helped you at Siemens to be more relevant to your customers.
Absolutely, because there's only so much that we can assume, right? We're doing research, we have a product being made that has a market launch plan and we think this is how we're going to impact that customer, but it's so good that we can actually look ahead and ask those questions and do those polls and get feedback on whether it's a region that's going to be impacted, whether it's a certain group or a certain place that's being implemented and installed. We can kind of understand if the product's going to work there and also where to put more efforts into. polling gives us great perspective over that.
Yeah, and one of the things we like about the Trade Hounds app is because we have more information about the users, very industry specific. Are they apprentices, journeymen, master electrician? Are they doing residential, commercial, industrial? What types of projects are they doing? Where are they in terms of how many employees they are in their company? All these demographic or firmographic insights really makes the polling much more effective, because we not only understand what the patterns are, we're able to really dissect those and help you to laser in on the segment that matters most.
No, I've seen that really impactful for us. Also with product launches, I think we're at a place now that we can trust Trade Hounds and early adoption. Therefore, we can go ahead and see where's the best place to market to first, who's giving us the best responses. And also, I think with polling, it gives us leads of who would be great to install it first. Is there a certain area, a certain job title or persona that we want to interact with the product before it even comes to market?
So one of the things that makes the digital native generation so interesting is that they not only learn about things differently, they also want to purchase things differently, buyer expectations. We know this digital native generation is really looking for that mobile first ability to source. They also tell us, unfortunately, they waste up to 40% of their time simply trying to get pricing, availability, trying to actually order, reconcile orders, POs, all of that tedious work that makes the business run. Talk about how important it is for a marketplace to not only be social, but also to be commercial that way.
It's about relevancy, accessibility, and engagement. And all of that lives within the app, right? There's a communal piece where you can speak to your group. There's the supply house feature where you can purchase within Trade Hounds. Pretty much kind of that one-stop shop. That's really kind of what I feel like with app fatigue and the amount of places that people can go to on their phone and in the real world itself. Trying to make that easy and accessible is going to be really important for this generation.
We're going to talk next about a new important product from Siemens, IntelliArc. Tell us, Nick, what does IntelliArc mean to our user base at Trade Hounds?
Great question. So the IntelliArc is an amazing tool for contractors. Basically, it allows them to use the tool, hook it up to a panel, and they can actually see which part of the breaker and what's in the house that's affecting the trip. So you get arc faults, ground faults, all detectable through the IntelliArc. It has an app that's connected to it as well, so it can have a historical record of what happened at that home. You can keep that record and leave it for other homes when you go into it to compare data about how it's working within the app.
So it takes the guesswork out of troubleshooting.
Absolutely, and you can kind of set it and forget it. Therefore, it's going to work. And sometimes there might be tripping that's kind of intermittent, that's hard to catch. The IntelliArc can sit there over a 24-hour period, and it depends on whether it's a microwave or refrigerator, whatever could be in the line that's creating that noise, they can capture which part of the breaker.
We know our contractors hate callbacks.
There you go.
What we're really talking about is how do we stop having to call back because we misdiagnosed.
Absolutely, and data is king. So therefore it does capture the data and historical record when using the IntelliArc.
Well, Nick, it's been great catching up with you, and really appreciate the partnership with Trade Hounds.
Absolutely, we love it. Thank you so much.